All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to come back into regular session.
I'll make a motion that we convene in regular session.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Paradola, seconded by Commissioner King. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, we're back in session. All right, so I'm gonna entertain a motion that the county attorney proceed with a negotiation process for the purchase of property.
I'll make a motion to direct the county attorney's office to proceed with the purchase of property as directed in executive session.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Aiken. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 9. Ms. Genevieve Martinez, our county clerk, consider and take action on supplementing the November 13th, 2023 minutes to address agenda item 17D. Agenda item was approved in court but inadvertently left off the minutes. I'll entertain a motion for that, Commissioner.
Oh,
I
okay.
was woken up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, everybody
Yeah,
has it.
yeah, right.
All the information, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the correction to the minutes for the November 13th meeting for item 17D.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. Is there any other discussion on agenda item number 9? Hear none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, ayes have it, motion passes. We are going to bypass agenda item number 10, will not be discussed in today's court.
Can I say something on that, Judge?
Sure, absolutely.
Item number 10, we need to make sure that's back in the paper for public hearing for the 26th.
But is that enough time with the notice?
Well, we've had it in there already. Yes, sir. She's getting it in there today. So it will be enough time, but I would like to have that at 10 a.m. on the agenda on the 26th.
All right, move to agenda item number 11, discuss and take action to approve a budget amendment to transfer the administrative assistant from Commissioner's Court position to the Permits and Development Department budget as a code enforcement inspector.
So I have the budget amendment ready for you, for your review and approve. I don't have the dollar amounts yet. Jalen and I have to get together because the position of administrative assistant for Commissioner's Court has been filled since October 1. All the necessary line items, the fringe benefits and everything, they're all gonna have to be prorated now to transfer into permits and development, since the request is that this position is being eliminated and a new position in permits and development. So you're gonna see, if you approve of the transfer, if I could just have your signatures on the budget amendment, and I'll fill in the dollar amounts as soon as.
I'll entertain a motion on agenda number 11.
I'll make a motion to transfer the administrative assistant from Commissioner's Court position to Permits and Development for code enforcement.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, seconded by Commissioner Aiken. We have any other discussion on agenda item number 11?
I do.
All right.
So with this, whatever the case is, if this motion passes, she's going to be looking over driveways, our PIP row, and
Sign making.
sign making for the commissioner still.
Yes.
Okay, what else
No.
do we have?
Still be doing this.
Yes, in our packets. Okay, so I just want to make sure that
Dumpster enforcement.
we want to make,
Forgot that.
we're all in the same area of mindset whenever we're talking about this, so.
Jalen's creating the job description.
Okay, so you have a job description coming up? We just need to know exactly where we're going every time that, you know, whenever we make that phone call or whenever we send her that text or whatever it is, so we know exactly who it is. And Luz will be seeing over her this whole time. Okay, so that's all I got.
Okay, any other discussion? Luz, do you want to say anything?
No, but it's all in the process of doing the pivotal permit that we're gonna discuss.
Okay. Okay. All right, any other discussion, Commissioner? Hearing none, a call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion passes. We move to agenda item number 12. We have Commissioner Gary Martin discuss, take action to go out for bids for fuel.
Okay, as y'all remember last year, when we went out for bids before, the bids that we received were not acceptable to the county, so we rejected all the bids, and we extended the contracts for 6 months for the two current suppliers. So those contracts would now expire at the end of March. So we needed to go out for bids so that after March, or I guess April 1st, we would have bids and can do a new contract, and would be through the end of the current fiscal year. In addition, the change that I would suggest that we make is Mr. Trevino and I looked at the way that we're currently bidding, and we're currently bidding these based on the Opus price. And so that means that our staff has to get that report, go through it, and figure out what to tell each of the suppliers to provide to us. That report costs us about $3,600 a year, and it goes up about $100 every year. Talked to one of the suppliers, and their suggestion was that we use the rack price. In other words, whatever they pay the day they go to pick up that fuel, they'll get a ticket on that, and they'll submit that as part of their invoice so that we know exactly what they paid for it. We checked with Atascosa and Carnes, and that's what they're doing now. Everybody seems to be trending away from this Opus report. And the Opus report also causes them to bill us basically 2 weeks behind, which is hard for their business since they are having to pay that money out for the fuel. And so we've got a traceable audit. We've talked about that. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
No, I mean, I fully support it. I think all the way around, timeliness, financially, for the vendor, for the county, it makes sense to do it, so.
So to be clear, you'll cancel the Opus subscription?
It expires in July,
So we'll let it lapse? Okay.
yeah, so we'll continue it through June 30th, but if when we, if you vote on it, we just won't utilize it, once and like Gary said, I mean, we won't, this won't take effect until April anyway, so, we'll just lose 3 months.
Are we gonna get back into the issue of who owns the fuel tanks and all that? That's what caused all of this
Well,
to
I
begin
think
with.
we're gonna have to modify the bid packet anyway to remove the Opus language. And I got with my counterpart in Atascosa, she sent me their bid packet, so, I have something to base it off of. And so, Commissioner Perdola will probably write in language regarding the fuel tanks, because that was an issue that we had in the past, so.
That we maybe need to look at.
Well, they'll just
Own
know,
tanks.
well, I mean, the thing is we'll just tell them we want fuel delivered whatever quantity that we ask for, whatever that is, because, well, like, what was it, Sunco wanted, was it 3,000 gallons? And none of us even have a tank that's
Per
3,000,
delivery.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess technically their bid didn't meet our requirements even
Right.
last time anyway, so we had every right to reject that.
Yeah.
So,
But we can be more clear in the bid packet to state so that all vendors who are interested know that we don't anticipate having to have a minimum delivery, quantity delivered, or pay to have new fuel tanks installed.
I guess another question, would it be beneficial to the county to upgrade our tanks? Because I've got little bitty tanks, and that's one of the things that he complains about. And the tanks, I think, actually belong to John's Oil. They don't belong to the county. So we're kind of limited. It kind of limits us to who we can.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I drive over there. I don't have a tank in my yard at all. And,
I can't do that. I'm too far away.
well, right, understood, yeah. Yeah, I mean, each one of us has a little bit different, and Commissioner Aiken uses Midtech, so, I mean,
Who owns it?
really, in my opinion, I guess John supplied us those above ground, or whatever kind of tank you got now at no charge. So, I mean, when we could think about it over the next few months, and then let's see, because it'll be, what, July when we do it for next fiscal year?
Yes, so we'll have to go back out for bid for, beginning 9/1, 10/1.
10-1, yeah. So, I mean, at that point, if we want to change out tanks or we want larger tanks, then we could put that in.
At that time,
And we could have some discussions with the two suppliers right now to see what it would take to,
Well, I think if we wait for the new fiscal year, like Commissioner Martin is saying, it would help us budget-wise, because then we'll be able, if we're gonna have to incur an expense to,
change the
get larger
tanks.
change tanks, then we can budget accordingly.
I just think it would be beneficial to the county if we owned our own tanks where we're not tied to a specific distributor.
Sure,
Yeah,
we just need a budget for that.
and I guess, I mean, with,
And just for thought, future thought.
well, I mean, you know, and as I recall, everybody had the same markup. So, I mean, it's really not,
They do.
it's really not a big deal, I don't think. Because they all basically have the same markup.
I guess what I'm looking at is I don't want to get into a situation where we go with somebody else and John says, "Up, those are my tanks, I'm coming to pick them up," and then what do I do?
Yeah, right.
All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion on agenda item number 12.
I'll make a motion to go out for bids for fuel for April 1 through 9/30 of '24.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Paradola. Any other discussion aside from the last discussion we had? All right, hearing none, I call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion passes. Agenda item number 13, we have Ms. Brenda Trevini, our county auditor, discuss and take action on approving transfer $2,600 of budgeted funds from tax assessor collector's full-time salary and health insurance line item to a temporary seasonal line item.
Yes, so Ms. Barnett, requested, the hiring of a temporary, staff person to assist with, scanning a bunch of files that Ms. Barnett needs electronically. She does not currently have a temporary seasonal line item. However, she did have, two, positions that have been vacant, for the last 30 to 45 days, and is requesting if she can use that money, to add to a seasonal temporary line item, which will not affect her overall budget to do so. So, I'm fine with it. I did tell her that that would, be a court's, consideration.
Ms. Barnett, you have any comment on it?
No, other than I've got boxes in my storage room that can be destroyed, but they're on monthly reports, and I'd really like to have those scanned before destroying them.
Thank you.
And I did let her know that if this gets approved, then we'll transfer the $2,600 to temporary line item, and then once that is exhausted, she knows that she wouldn't be able to have that person come back in, yeah.
So it's only for this,
It would only be for this
Reporting.
fiscal year,
And for this amount.
for this amount for this fiscal year.
All right, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion on agenda item number 13.
I'll make a motion that we approve to transfer the $2,600 of budgeted funds from the tax assessor collector's full-time salary and health insurance line item to a temporary seasonal line item. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Paradola, seconded by Commissioner Aiken regarding agenda item number 13. there any other discussion? Hear none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 14. Sheriff Jim Stewart, give us our Sheriff's Office progress report.
Don't have it ready right now.
Sir?
I said my report for last week, not ready yet.
Okay,
Before you next.
very good, thank you, sir. We'll move to agenda item number 15. We have Lou Serrato, our Permitting Development Director. We will discuss 15A, Pipeline Crossing Permit 1, Permit 157 Company, Precinct 2, County Road 240.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So pipeline permit 157 is through EVX South Texas, SWD LLC. They are proposing to bore under County Road 240 with an 8-inch SDR 11 poly pipe under the steel casing. This company also, because they're going to do temporary work, obtained a temporary driveway permit as well. And this paperwork has been supplied to Commissioner King so he could revise and review where the pipeline will be going in.
And I've been out there. They've done a lot of work, but I've been out to this location and, yeah, I make a motion to approve this permit 157 for County Road 240.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner King, second by Commissioner Martin regarding 15A1. Do we have any other discussion? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion passes. We now move to 15B, non-standard plats and variances. 1, Post Oak Road 80, Precinct 3, English, discuss and take action.
So Mr. English came before the review committee and would like to split his 3.51 acres into 2 separate tracts. He provided the survey with 1.90 acres on one side, and tract B would have 1.61 acres. He did have all his utility letters and all the information asked of him to provide for variances as well. And it was given a favorable recommendation by the review committee.
Yes, it did receive a favorable review. I'll make a motion that we approve the Post Oak Road for the English property in Precinct 3. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Paradola, second by Commissioner Aiken regarding agenda item 15B1. We have any other discussion? Hear none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Ayes have it, motion passes. 15C, update PIP road regulations 1, 2, 3, changing the name of the driveway permit to PIP road permit. Discuss, take action. Number 2, adding a permit fee of $25 for temporary signs in the row and adding a permit fee of $50 for private improvement in the row.
So this permit application is discussed in the PIPRO regulations that we passed last year. So all I did was change the name of the driveway permit that we currently use to apply to the regulations that are already in place. I added some fees to other stuff that our regulations covered last year when they passed, and including temporary signs, which we've been getting a lot of calls about, people wanting to put temporary signs in the right of way. So we've come up with a way that they could place that without infringing on the county for maintaining the right of way. This will also include the other, which would be for like embankments, excavation, fill, vegetation, anything that people would want to put landscaping near the right, on the right of way, that would require a permit of $50.
Did we already have a fee in place, or is this?
We had, the top 3 fees for the driveway permits were in place. We don't have one for temporary signs or for other.
Didn't really address either one of those.
And
I mean, with, since we're talking about this, of course, we've been dealing with dumpsters being in the right of way. Now there's a penalty. We're trying to advise everybody, and obviously the transition of her job is gonna be going after violations. So what temporary signage in the right of way are we talking about? A little real estate?
like a real
2x2
estate,
sign, or are we talking about,
temporary signs, real estate signs, like the flags that people put in the right of way to advertise for temporary sales and stuff like that.
Okay.
Those would be the ones that are 25. Anything that would be permanent would fall under the other category.
And how do you make the determination on it's temporary versus it's been there for 2 years and it's not actually in the ground but has bases and can be moved? I saw one of these the other day and I'm like, that shouldn't be there.
Well, along with their application, they'd have to submit their plan stating what kind of sign and where they're going to put it in the right of way. So at the bottom, you'll see that it's highlighted, must attach site, location, drawing, and driveway specifications. So if they were to put that down on their specifications, then obviously we'd charge them for the $50 other price.
And where does private improvement stop and start?
It's in the, what do you mean? Explain.
I mean,
Be at the fence line. I mean, whatever's the county right-of-way is county right-of-way.
okay, definition of private improvement. What do you think that the public will think that'll mean they can and cannot do as a private improvement in the right of way?
They can't put anything in the public right-of-way without permit.
It's on the application as well. It says any excavation, embankment, fill, vegetation, structure, or object which is constructed on, placed in, added to, removed from the public right-of-way.
So anybody wanting to put 2-inch rocks out in it would take and ask whether or not they would be able to do that.
That would require a
Because I
permit.
know whenever I came into office, there were a lot of improvements made in the right of way prior to
would
my
be
time
That would require a
that
$50.
shouldn't have been there, basically.
That's one of the things that will be addressed with this permit.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for 15C, 1, 2, and 3.
I'll make a motion to change the name of the driveway permit to the PIPRO permit, adding a permit fee for $25 for temporary signs and $50 for private improvement in the public right-of-way.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner King. Do we have any other discussion on that agenda item 15C, 1, 2, and 3? Hearing none, a call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, ayes have it, and motion passes. Now, we move to agenda item number 16. Ms. Genevieve Martinez, our county clerk, discuss and take action on Commissioner Court minutes.
The minutes have been reviewed by the county attorney and the county judge.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the Commissioners Court minutes for January 8th, 22nd, and then the special meeting on the 29th.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Paradola on agenda item number 16. Do we have any other discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, the ayes have it, motion passes. We move to agenda item number 17. We have Ms. Jaylynn Bodiford, our Human Resource Specialist, presentation of payroll and personnel changes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Madison McBride was hired as a Permits and Development Clerk for the Permits and Development Department, making $17.24 per hour or $35,861.28 annually, effective January 2nd. Kenneth Bissett was hired as a Patrol Deputy for the Sheriff's Department, making $23.73 per hour or $51,826.32 annually, effective January 2nd. Samantha Jones was hired as a dispatcher for the Sheriff's Department, making $19.23 per hour or $40,000 annually, effective January 22nd. Thomas Castillo was hired as a corrections officer for the Sheriff's Department, making $18.93 per hour or $41,346.40 annually, effective January 22nd. Rhiannon Hamlin was hired as a corrections officer for the Sheriff's Department, making $18.93 per hour or $41,346.40 annually, effective January 29th. Blaine Michigamba was hired as a patrol deputy for the Sheriff's Department, making $23.73 per hour or $51,826.32 annually, effective February 20th. And Heather Spa was hired as a patrol deputy for the sheriff's department, making $23.73 per hour, $51,826.32 annually, effective February 20th. Jimmy Comper resigned from his position as a road hand for Precinct 2, effective January 12th. Melody LaChapelle was terminated from her position as a tax customer service specialist with the tax office, effective January 29th. Mari Grossman resigned from her position as a tax customer service specialist with the tax office, effective January 30th. And Irene Hernandez resigned from her position as a patrol deputy with the sheriff's department, effective February 7th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We move to agenda item number 18. We have Ms. Brenda Trevino, County Auditor, discuss and take action on county bills.
Okay, I have reviewed and approved bills totaling $702,011.61. You will notice on page 8, when you get to page 8, you'll see a handwritten modification. I asked them to change that. That is the RVK Architecture invoice for $213,635.13. Should not be coded to the American Rescue Plan. That's being coded to our Emergency Operations Center Fund 1605. So she's already made the change, but she'd already printed the,
Did you get that one invoice changed over?
yes, she changed that as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, she'd already printed these, so. Sure. I'm sorry. I just realized that. I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $702,011.61.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Martin, seconded by Commissioner Perdola regarding agenda item number 18. Is there any other discussion?
What was the COC thing? Just to refresh my mind.
That's the revisions for the plan for the EOC building?
That wasn't the 131 that we were spending last month.
No, she's moving all of the money that we've spent on,
To-
out of ARP into the,
Okay, that's why I was
That
asking.
is one invoice, though. That's the one invoice for the modifications that RVK did, or did, I guess, for the revision of the emergency operations.
Mrs. Trevino.
Yes.
Commissioner Aiken and myself did not get the bills emailed to us.
Same.
Oh, okay.
Did you? No, you didn't either?
This week? This
Yeah,
week?
this
Okay,
this go around, yeah.
okay.
So he didn't, I didn't, and Commissioner King didn't.
Okay.
Gary, did you get them?
But you-
no,
but you
no,
had-
she,
But you had an you went in to go review them, I'm assuming?
No, usually we get the email.
We get the
That's
email.
why I'm still reading through it, because normally I read through it ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't get
We
one.
didn't get the email this week on the bills.
Evidently it didn't go out.
Oh, for all of the bills, but you got
For these
your own.
bills. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
we
okay.
approved our own. We
Oh,
just
We
didn't have
normally,
the.
we normally get an
You normally get
email
one.
on,
Okay,
on
okay.
these so we can review them ahead of
Okay,
time,
okay,
since they're quite lengthy.
got it, okay.
It's just, it's helpful
you
to
for letting me know.
have them ahead of time to go through them a little bit more in detail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other discussion, Commissioners? Hear none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion passes. Move to agenda item number 19, adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perdola, seconded by Commissioner King. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, motion